Good day traders, it's Gino Forex here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we'll be talking about what is fair value gap, also known as imbalance or inefficiency. And in this same video, I'll be showing you guys what fair value gap is, and I'll be showing you how to identify fair value gap on the price chart. So what is fair value gap? So fair value gap is an imbalance or inefficiency on the price chart where the market did not trade fairly between buyers and sellers. Fair value gap actually appears when price moves in a very particular direction so fast that it leaves gaps behind. So we have a bullish fair value gap and we have a bearish fair value gap. You can see a bullish fair value gap is basically when price moves to the upside so fast that it leaves a gap in between a three candle. Like we have an example here. This is a bullish fair value gap and this is a bearish fair value gap. You can see price moves so fast to the top that it leaves a gap in between the first candle, which is this is the first candle, this is the first candle high, and then this is the second candle here, and then this is the third candle low. So bullish fair value gap is basically when price moves fast to the upside and leave a gap in between. And the bearish fair value gap is basically when price moves fast to the downside that it leaves gap in between the three candles. Like this is the first candle here, and this is the first candle low. There's the first candle low. This is the second candle, and then this is the third candle high. You can see there's a gap in between. So this is a bullish fair value gap where price moves fast to the upside and leave gap in between three candles. And then there's a bearish fair value gap where price moves fast to this low to the downside and leave a gap in between the three candles. You can see there are two different examples here. On my left hand side, this is a balanced price action, and on the right hand side we have an imbalanced price action. So you can notice, as we said, fair value gaps use a three candle pattern whereby market leaves gaps behind. So let's get straight to it and let me show you how to identify fair value gap. So fair value gap is a pattern whereby the high of the first candle is not connected with the low of the third candle. In a bullish example, let me show you guys what it looks like. So on here now, you can see this is a bullish example, and look at this candle. This is the wick, this is the high of this candle. Let's mark it out like this. This is the high of this candle here, and you can see that this high of this candle it prints to this high actually, and then you can see that this low of this candle overlaps with the high of this candle. So this is not a fair value gap. There is no gap in between them. Yeah, there's no gap in between them because why? The low of this third candle actually overlapped with the high of this first candle. Same thing happens to this bearish example. Here it is. This is the bearish scenario. So this is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. So this first candle, this is the low of the first candle, and you can see that the third candle actually overlapped with the first candle wick. So in this case, there's no gap in between them. Unlike this, let me show you this example. This is a fair value gap because there's a gap in between them. Let me mark it out. This is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. And this first candle, this is the high of this first candle here. This is the high of this first candle here. And then this is the third candle. This is the low of the third candle here. You can see that they did not overlap, unlike this one. You can see that this third candle overlapped with the first candle top. And here, this is the first candle top, and this is the last candle, this is the third candle low. You can see that they overlapped, so there's no gap in between this one, and there is a gap in between. So this gap here is what we call fair value gap. You know, I said it earlier that fair value gaps are three candle pattern, whereby there is a gap in between the first candle and the third candle. The middle candle actually moves faster, and then they seem not to overlap. So the gap in between them here is what we call fair value gap. Let me show you a typical example here also. This is a bearish example here. This is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. You can see what's happened there. This is the first candle's low. You can see this is the first candle low right here, and then we have the second candle, we We have the second candle right here, and this is the third candle. This is the third candle high. As you can see, there's a gap in between them. They did not overlap. Unlike this one, you can see this one pushed to this low, and this one overlapped with it. Unlike it here, we have this low, and then this high. There is a gap in between them. So this gap is what we know as fair value gap. So let's move to the price chart, and let me show you what it looks like on the price chart and how to identify fair value gap on the price chart. Yes, now that we're on the price chart, let me show you what fair value gap is and how to identify fair value gap here. So you can see this is a bullish scenario. This is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. So this is the first candle high right here. You can see this is the first candle high, and this second candle moved so fast that this third candle could not catch up. You understand? This third candle could not catch up. So this is the first candle's high, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle's low right here. You can see that there is a gap in between the three candles. You can see this is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle, and they did not overlap. Unlike, let me show you when it's overlap. This is the first candle, second candle, and third candle. Look at it. You can see that this is the first candle's high, second candle, and this is the third candle's low. You can see that the three candles overlapped. There's no gap in between, and this one, the three candles did not meet each other. So there is a gap in between. So this gap is what we know as fair value gap. Another example here, we have the first candle, second candle, and the third candle. So on the first candle, this is the first candle's high. This is the first candle high. And then this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. This is the third candlestick. So you can see that there is a gap in between the three candles. Unlike this one, that the first candle and the third candle meet each other. This one, the first candle and the third candle did not meet. So this gap in between is fair value gap. Another example here, this is the first candle, second candle, and then third candle. You can see this is the high of the first candle, this is the second candle, and then this is the low of the third candle. You can see there's a gap in between. So this is a fair value gap. Let me show you a bearish example. So this is a bearish example right here. This is the first candle, this is the second candle, and then this is the third candle. This is the first candle's low right here. This is the second candle, and then this is the third candle. You can notice how this candlestick moves so fast that the third candle could not catch up with it. So this is the third candle. So there is a gap in between. This gap is what you know as fair value gaps. This is what we know as fair value gaps. You can see this is what we know as fair value gap. Look at this one. Look at this example now. This is the first candle, second candle, and third candle. We have the first candle's low here. We have the first candle low here. And then we have the second candle here, and then third candle here. This is the third candle high. You can notice that they overlapped. So in this case, there is a balanced price delivery between the buyers and the seller. So in this case, there is no fair value gap here. But if you notice here, another example here, there is a first candle here, second candle here, and third candle. This is the first candle high right here. This is the second candle here, and then this is third candle right here. So in between them, there is a gap in between the three candles. So this is what we know as fair value gap.